This is Congressman Dwight Evans, wishing you a happy Chinese New Year. God bless you. Wish you the best.
Hi, I'm Representative Mary Isaacson, and I want to wish you a very happy Chinese New Year. And I look forward to next year when we can hopefully all be together again.
Hi, this is Councilmember Squilla. I just want to wish PCDC and the Chinatown community a happy and healthy New Year as we celebrate the Year of the Ox. Thank you for all you give to the city of Philadelphia to make it a great place to live, work, and play.
Never before have the traditional Lunar New Year blessings of health, prosperity, and good fortune meant more to us than in 2021. On behalf of my entire office and the City Council of Philadelphia, I wish our friends and colleagues at PCDC a healthy and prosperous New Year.
Hi, this is Councilman David O. Wishing you and yours a very happy, healthy, and blessed New Year. Please enjoy tonight's benefit as we kick off the Year of the Ox. And PCDC, thank you for all you do and keep up the good work.
Captain Matthew James from the 6th District here. I want to wish you all a healthy, happy, and prosperous 2021. Happy Chinese New Year.
Happy Lunar New Year. 恭喜發財，新年快樂。Happy Lunar New Year. 新年快樂。Happy Lunar New Year. 新年快樂，恭喜發財。
Hi everyone, I'm Dan Fleming and I serve on the PCDC Program Committee, and I want to wish everyone a very happy Chinese New Year.
Happy Lunar New Year. 新年快樂，恭喜發財。Happy Lunar New Year.
Good evening and Happy New Year. Welcome to PCDC's 2021 Chinese New Year virtual event. My name is John Chin, and I am the Executive Director of PCDC. You've just traveled from the China Friendship Gate at 10th and Arch Streets, through Chinatown and arrived at Crane Community Center, where students from the Chinatown Learning Center performed a classic Chinese New Year song. Lion dancers from the Philadelphia Suns danced across your screen. And I want to thank the special messages from our elected officials, community members, and PCDC staff and board who welcomed in the new year. Tonight's event is not only a celebration of the Year of the Ox, but also a celebration of cultural resilience in our community. The suffering has been significant. The pandemic has revealed the great divide between those who have and those who do not have means. Our organization has worked on the ground, supporting our clients and our residents to apply for social services, entitlements, COVID relief 19 grants. It has been a difficult year, but I'm proud of the work that PCDC has done on the ground and in our partnerships with organizations across the city to not only serve the immigrant Chinese-speaking community, but a diversity of residents, regardless of race, language, ethnicity. It is my privilege to be here to tell you that with your support and your partnership, we have helped hundreds of families survive this pandemic, but more needs to be done. I want to thank our sponsors for making this virtual event happen. Thank you, presenting sponsor Jeffrey and Tina Laurie Fund. Thank you to our platinum sponsor, Pico. And of course, our silver sponsors, Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters, First Trust Bank, PNC Bank, Jefferson University Hospital, and WFS Bank. And I'd like to thank our Jade sponsors, AARP, Asian Bank, Citizens Bank, Comcast NBC Universal, Santander Bank, Wells Fargo Bank, and BB&T Truist Bank. And finally, I want to acknowledge our Pearl sponsors, the Abstract Company, Health Partners Plan, Keystone First, and TD Bank. And I do also want to thank our contributors, friends, and attendees for supporting us and being here with us tonight. It is my privilege to stand here before you this evening and thank you for your partnership and your support as we all work together to help those in the greatest needs across the city of Philadelphia. Thank you. We are here to celebrate Chinese New Year, but we're also here to acknowledge cultural resilience, not just for Chinatown, but for all people across the city. Our first speaker here tonight is a dear friend of mine. I've worked with her in many different capacities, and I can tell you that she is a champion for the people in the city of Philadelphia and the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And outside of that official title, I've worked with her on many community issues affecting our immigrant community. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our first speaker, Nina Ahmed.
Gang Xi Fa Shai. My name is Nina Ahmed, and I am thrilled to be a part of the Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation's Chinese New Year celebration. I send you my heartiest greetings for a healthy and prosperous New Year. After a tumultuous period in our nation, where immigrants, including those of us from Asia, have been vilified, our contributions disregarded, I am very hopeful for a new day in our nation in 2021. Throughout all these dark days, PCDC has stood strong, advocating, supporting, and working to build community. Honoring the legacy each of us bring from our countries of origin is the core of developing cultural resilience, which gives us the capacity to maintain and develop cultural identity, critical cultural knowledge, and practices while participating as a valued member of the broader community. PCDC stands as an example to other immigrant communities to build such infrastructure to support their members, especially those with language barriers, escaping trauma, and other factors that can be barriers to accessing all Philadelphia has to offer. I believe in creating broad coalitions with the other communities of color and fighting for equity so that all of us can thrive. On a personal note, I'm very proud of being the first Asian American Pacific Islander, first Bangladeshi American to run for a statewide executive office of Auditor General in Pennsylvania, winning in a 6-way primary in June of 2020 to become the Democratic nominee. While we fell short in the general election for a variety of reasons, I am pleased to have earned over 3 million votes, more than my heroes, President Obama in 2012 and Secretary Clinton in 2016. I look forward to working with all of you to use that political capital wisely so we have a seat at the table. This pandemic has stood in the way of all of us congregating and enjoying a delicious banquet in the lovely Crane Center. I am glad we're having this virtual celebration to continue the long tradition of celebrating the Chinese New Year. I want to congratulate PCDC for being that safe haven for the Chinese community in Philadelphia, as well as other AAPIs for being a welcoming space and creating community where all our unique stories are heard. Happy New Year.
Our next speaker is a great leader in the city of Philadelphia, advancing the cause for diversity, equity, and inclusion, working with communities across the city. Her organization is partnering and providing support for over 80 organizations who are working on the ground, lifting people out of poverty. It is my pleasure to introduce to you another good friend and president and CEO of Urban Affairs Coalition, Charmaine Matlock-Turner.
Hi, I'm Charmaine Matlock-Turner, President and CEO of the Urban Affairs Coalition. I am thrilled to join you all today to recognize and celebrate the Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation's Chinese New Year virtual event. A new year is a perfect time to look back, to celebrate community and cultural resilience. A new year is also a critical beginning to look forward as we seek new opportunities to build equity for Chinatown and all neighborhoods in our region. Truly building equity is an inclusive act. It involves all voices. It involves all communities. It involves looking at our assets, not our deficits, and then building upon our assets together to create value in our shared neighborhoods and to recognize the value of our shared Philadelphia experience. Chinatown is a part of the Philadelphia experience. What would Philadelphia be without Chinatown and the Asian American and immigrant community? These are our cherished neighborhoods, peoples and cultures of history, vibrancy and diversity. It's our duty to preserve Chinatown, and it's our duty to build on its enduring beauty. I am proud that UAC and the African American community has special relationships with PCDC and the Asian American and immigrant communities through partnerships and collaboration with friends like John Chin and Cecilia Moyet, and through common threads like our enduring plight to end racism and racial inequality once and for all. So today, let us celebrate new beginnings in this year of the Ox with all of our friends and neighbors at PCDC, Chinatown, and across Philadelphia. Let us continue to build efforts toward equity and strengthen diverse partnerships to achieve inclusive acts. Onward and upward. Thank you all. Have a great celebration.
Of course, we're here to talk about Chinatown as well. From its humble beginnings in 1870, Chinatown was built 150 years ago, and we've developed this cultural resilience over the decades, forging the strength of our community against the challenges and adversity which we have faced. Adversities of anti-Asian sentiment that unfortunately we have seen rear its ugly head in the past 13 months. The adversity of outside urban projects thrusted upon Chinatown. Despite those challenges to Chinatown, we know through meaningful and mutual beneficial relationships, by working together, we can make sure that Chinatown is here and our people are served and helped to bridge the divide. So with that, I'd like to introduce to you two of PCDC's board members, Martin Chan, board chairman, and Margaret Chin, vice chairwoman.
Good evening. My name is Martin Chan, and I'm the chairperson of PCDC. Chinatown's 150 year came and went in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. COVID-19 has uniquely impacted and even threatened the survival of this cultural, economic, and ethnic hub. The fact that Chinatown is coming into its 151st year is a testament to the inspiring resilience of the small business owners, residents, families, and workers of Chinatown. Chinatown was established in 1870 when Li Fang opened a laundromat at 1913 Ray Street. Back then, Chinatown was known as Philadelphia's Tenderloin or Red Light District. Chinatowns across the United States often sprung up in parts of a city regarded as dangerous or undesirable, and were the only places Chinese immigrants would be accepted. By the 1950s, the federal government started to lift a decades-old restrictive immigration policy against its ally China after World War II. Chinese men and women were allowed to enter the U.S. in greater numbers. This began the transformation of Chinatown into a family-oriented community. Churches, businesses, and social and cultural organizations were established to improve neighborhood life, preserve Chinese culture, and provide services to growing numbers of immigrants. But Chinatown still faces many ongoing challenges.
Good evening. Happy Lunar New Year. I'm Margaret Chin, the Vice Chair of PCDC. One of the challenges Chinatown faced was the proposed Vine Street Expressway expansion in 1966, which would demolish homes and the Holy Redeemer Chinese Catholic Church. In response, PCDC founder Cecilia Moy Yep and residents organized the community to successfully force a scaled-down version of the Vine Street Expressway project, which saved our church. As we live up 150 years of Chinatown resilience, PCDC is proud to have played a major role in grassroots preservation and equitable development of Chinatown. From the mid-1960s to the turn of the century, PCDC was the forefront of Chinatown's redevelopment, leading affordable housing projects and establishing the China Friendship Gate, the first authentic gate in the nation. It was gifted by Philadelphia's sister city, Tianjin, and built by artisans from China in 1983. In 1994, PCDC won a 2-year battle against a federal prison proposed to be built on 8th and Vine Street, and later successfully organized against a baseball stadium proposed for 11th and Vine. In 2011, PCDC began plans for our Chinatown Community Center at 1001 Vine Street. And after nearly a decade of planning, organizing, and hard work, Crane Community Center opened its door on November 2019, finally providing a recreational and community center for Chinatown's families, seniors, and workers. Additionally, PCDC launched the 2017 Chinatown Neighborhood Plan, a 10-year vision for equitable development of Chinatown and its community. But what does all this mean for Chinatown today? Well, it means Chinatown has developed from a so-called tenderloin district of Chinese businesses at the fringes into a vibrant, long-lasting community of families, residents, small businesses, churches, and schools. It means Chinese immigrants and Asian Americans don't just come to Chinatown for work or an economic foothold, but they also come to find affordable housing, social services, childcare and education, and a community center. After 150 years of continual struggle against development from outside forces, Chinatown has survived against all odds and grown that much stronger. The history of Chinatown is one of repeated challenges that have threatened the survival of our homes. We have seen firsthand the devastating effect the COVID-19 pandemic had on Chinatowns across the nation, and Philadelphia Chinatown is no exception. But it was such challenges, both large and small, that led to the birth of Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation 54 years ago. And I believe that with the help of our community members, corporate partners, residents, stakeholders, and friends, we too can overcome this new challenge to make sure Chinatown still stands for another 150 years and more.
Comcast is helping by bridging the divide, investing in internet in homes, providing grants to small businesses for people of color, by investing in lift zones here at Crane Community Center, where children, senior citizens, and families can come here and bridge the digital divide. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Dalia Wilson-Scott, Executive Vice President and Chief Diversity Officer for Comcast Corporation and President of Comcast NBC Universal Foundation.
Happy Lunar New Year, and thank you for the opportunity to join you once again for this annual celebration as we welcome in the Year of the Ox. The Chinatown community is as strong as it is diverse, but unfortunately, this past year has been especially difficult for so many families in our city, including the families and small business owners right here in Chinatown. The new year brings us a path forward, one that represents hope and recovery. I'd like to take a moment to celebrate the PCDC community for your resilience in the face of unthinkable hardship, and to acknowledge PCDC for the critical role PCDC is playing in supporting the economic well-being and health of its residents and its businesses. We've been proud partners of PCDC for a number of years. Our employees have joined forces with community members to do cleanups across Chinatown through our Comcast Cares program. We have also provided support to the Crane Community Center at the very beginning to help advance the project, and more recently to support PCDC's efforts to engage the community during the pandemic. We're also working to add to the impact of the Crane Community Center by making it into a Comcast Lift Zone, a Wi-Fi connected space where students and their families can connect to the internet for distance learning. It will also be a place where adults and seniors can participate in digital skills trainings so they can more easily access critical resources. At the same time, we know that small businesses have been and will continue to be the path to growth in our city. In the heart of Chinatown are dozens of small businesses that were impacted by the pandemic. To help small businesses weather this storm, we've launched Comcast Rise. For businesses that are owned by Black, Indigenous, Latinx, and Asian Americans, the very businesses that have been hardest hit by the pandemic, we're offering an opportunity to receive marketing support, technology upgrades, and cash grants. We encourage eligible small businesses in Chinatown to apply to Comcast Rise. You can visit comcastrise.com to learn more. This is just one step towards rebuilding our communities, and we look forward to taking that step together. Thank you again to John Chin, Rachel Mack, and PCDC for your tireless commitment to empowering the Chinatown community. Happy New Year, and let's enjoy the celebration.
We are fortunate to have corporate leaders across the city. Corporate leaders who are investing in neighborhoods. Corporate leaders who are advancing equity for all people. Corporate leaders who are helping the most vulnerable families. Corporate leaders who are helping immigrants in Chinatown who don't speak English as a first language. By meeting them in the middle and providing language and cultural appropriate services. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Michael Inozenzo, President and CEO of Pico.
Thank you, John, for the introduction and for your steadfast leadership. And thank you to the Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation for hosting this special event. I feel exceptionally honored to be part of this celebration of the Chinese New Year and the generations of Asian Americans who have positively influenced our community. It's an exciting milestone as we observe the Chinese Year of the Ox, an animal known for having great patience and a desire to make progress. Two characteristics that are so clearly conveyed in the unwavering work PCDC has done and continues to do for the businesses and members of Philadelphia's Asian American community. As a proud longtime partner of PCDC, Pico has witnessed firsthand the steadfast desire that this organization has displayed in its efforts to bring growth to Philadelphia's Chinatown. And it's this valiant dedication to promote economic development and diversity in our community that inspired us to ignite what has become such a valued partnership with this great organization. Although many of you primarily know Pico as a reliable energy provider in Southeast Pennsylvania, our commitment to the diverse communities we serve extends far beyond powering homes and businesses. Much like our partners at PCDC, we believe in giving back and working with others in order to create stronger, better communities. We do so by supporting various diverse organizations and volunteering our time to help local nonprofits. In a time of great divide, the need for greater cultural understanding is vital to the progression of our country. And as we advance the conversation around diversity, equity, and inclusion, we must remember that together we can and should address these challenges as a united front. Pico is proud to provide funding support for PCDC's Chinatown Calihill project, which includes weekly cleaning maintenance of Philadelphia's Calihill Street in order to promote the area as a viable economic location. We're working together to expand the hours for these cleaning teams that work diligently to preserve Chinatown as the attractive destination it truly is by cleaning litter and reporting potholes and graffiti. Above all, our partnership to carry out this initiative will bring relief to both families and business owners experiencing hardship under the pandemic. With a history of more than 130 years of service to the greater Philadelphia region, Pico has a long-standing commitment to a culture of excellence. We understand that having a workforce and supply chain whose diverse talents reflect the communities we serve is critical to providing our customers with the exceptional products and services they deserve and have come to expect from us. Diversity is a fundamental part of who we are, and it fuels our commitment to pursue initiatives that positively highlight all the unique perspectives that make Philadelphia great. After all, when we are open to different perspectives and hearing new ideas, we're better positioned to make meaningful change to best serve our customers. It is of the utmost importance that our partners and friends in the communities we serve feel valued, respected, and appreciated. And that's why we continue to support organizations like PCDC to ensure Philadelphia is a place where all residents and tourists can experience Asian American culture and life. So today, we not only celebrate the Chinese New Year, but also commend the incredible work the PCDC has done to preserve one of Philadelphia's most unique and beloved cultural treasures. From large efforts to small initiatives and everything in between, Pico is proud to work alongside PCDC as we continue to drive progress and improve our community. Because together, we are making the city of Philadelphia a better place to live and work. And from my perspective, Philadelphia's future looks very bright. Thank you.
Tonight we've heard from some of the leading advocates for diversity, equity, inclusion in our city of Philadelphia. I just want to say thank you to them for sharing their thoughts on this very important issue. I will add that equity and inclusion is just not one day, 1 week, or 1 month, but it's 365 days a year. And we have to all work together to make sure that no one is left behind, including our immigrant residents who don't speak English as a first language. I'm happy to be here sharing the Chinese New Year celebration with you tonight. And again, I want to thank all of our sponsors for making this virtual event possible. And don't forget to remain and watch the Philadelphia Orchestra's Lunar New Year performance. Have a good evening. Thank you, and Gong Hei Fa Choi.
Hello everyone, this is Tang Dun. I do love music, and I do love the Philadelphia Orchestra as you are. Time moves on, seasons come and go, but we are here to celebrate the Lunar New Year again with our spirit, our love, nature, music, and all of you.